Today you're watching the 163 Reasons Why Real Estate Agents Fail YouTube channel. And today's presentation is all about failure reason number 23. You'll benefit from this presentation because today you're going to discover why failure to communicate properly will always get real estate agents in big trouble. I'm about to change your life in real estate for the better and provide you with valuable solutions to the challenges that you face every day in your real estate business. These solutions are not available from any other source. Because I sold residential real estate for over 20 years in South Florida, I learned 163 ways in which real estate agents can fail. Now that I'm retired from the real estate business, all I want to do is just give back to the business that provided me and my family with such a good living for so many years. Maybe what I'm about to share with you has actually happened to you too. This is a true story from my own experience selling real estate. As far as I was concerned, it was going to be just another ordinary listing appointment. Unfortunately, I could not have been more wrong. I remember this appointment as if it was yesterday. My wife, who is also my partner in real estate, she was with me as I knocked on the door of the condo of the sellers who had called us a few days before because they got a card from us in the mail. As they gave us the tour of their condo, I noticed that it was the husband who did most of the talking. But for the sake of this video, let's call the sellers Harry and Mildred, which of course is not their real names. Now, both Harry and Mildred, they were in their mid-70s, and it was obvious to me that in their generation, it was always the man who was in the dominant position in terms of the marriage relationship. After getting the tour of their condo, Mildred invited me to sit around the kitchen table to discuss our marketing program. My wife was seated in a chair that was against a wall, with me seated on her left and Harry seated to her right and Mildred seated at the other end of the table. Now, I mention the seating arrangement here because it's very important to the theme of this presentation that I'm giving you today about how this will always get real estate agents in big trouble. Before we started discussing the marketing of their condo, Mildred offered my wife and I a glass of water, which she then brought to us in very elegant, real crystal goblets. As I went into my planned word-for-word listing presentation, Mildred was the one that was asking me all the questions. So naturally, I looked at her most of the times so that I could address her concerns. Out of the blue, Harry slams down his fist on the glass tabletop, spilling my glass of water all over the table. I glanced quickly over to my wife, whose eyes were as big as silver dollars and with a look of total fear on her face. Harry was angry because, as he put it, he was the man of the house. Why was I only talking to his wife? By this time, poor Mildred was in tears. She said to Harry, "You invited these fine people to our home and then you show them such disrespect by what you just did. I'm ashamed of you, Harry." Luckily, I knew how to handle the situation. I spoke to Harry in a very low, soft voice and told him that I sincerely apologized if I had offended him. I assured him that I was not showing him any disrespect and that was not my intention. But the damage was done. Remember, I told you that the seating arrangements were important to this story? My wife was seated with her back to the wall and had no way to escape if Harry decided to become violent. She still had that look of fear on her face. After my apology, I very slowly picked up my marketing materials from the table, put them in my folder, and slowly got up out of my chair. Harry was still very angry with me, so I knew that we had no chance of getting the listing. I helped my wife out of her chair, thanked Mildred and Harry for allowing us to briefly speak with them about the marketing of their condo, and we headed for the door. Mildred, still in tears, apologized to us for Harry's behavior. Harry, though, still upset over what he perceived to be as my lack of respect for him, didn't even say goodbye. This incident taught me a very valuable lesson, which is the subject of this presentation for you today. Because Harry and Mildred were in their mid-70s and of a generation in which the man is the dominant figure in a marriage, my approach should have been to make more eye contact with both of them during my presentation. By failing to observe Harry's dominant position in his marriage, I learned that by making this mistake, this will always get real estate agents in big trouble, just like it got me in trouble. Always understand who it is you're dealing with before you open your mouth. I never made that mistake again. Hopefully you won't make it either. This channel uploads a new video every day, 7 days a week. Until next time, go out and give a home seller your unique, planned, word-for-word listing presentation. Take the listing, price it right, and get a 7% or higher commission. You can do this.